Take marker. Jesus Revolution review, guys. What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. aka Ryan680.
I'm Angela, that cat lady Ange.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk. Movie Talk for movie fans. Guys, you bring the movie world right into your ears. Devices, thank you for making us a part of your day. Angela, what are we reviewing today?
We are reviewing Jesus Revolution today.
Jesus Revolution, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus Revolution tells of a story of a national spiritual awakening in the early 1970s and its origins within a community of teenage hippies in Southern California. Now, that pretty much sums it up for this movie. Long story short, to make this long story short, we're out to lunch with my parents here, and we were literally going to go see Operation, that other film with Aubrey Plaza and everything.
Jason Statham.
Yeah, Jason Statham. We were going to go see that other movie. But then my mom was like, "Oh, I've been wanting to see Jesus Revolution." I said, "Okay, you know what? Let's give it a chance."
And we had seen a trailer before.
We did see a trailer.
So it was interesting. So
we knew who the cast was. We knew who Kelsey Grammer was in here. Of course, we know him from Frasier. So it was. I was intrigued. I really was. I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna. I completely forgot, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I completely forgot about that this movie was coming out this week. I really did. I really didn't think anything of it. But besides all that, right? So we were just like, oh, let's go see it. So we saw it. We saw it at Regal Cell Vista 18, which we hadn't been to that. We hadn't been to that theater since Ya Llorona came out. Yeah. And that was a little bit bad of experience there that we had, where people were just talking nonstop. If you moviegoers out there, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm just saying, if you're in a movie theater, again, this is Ya Llorona, not this movie. And if you're in a theater and you're just like, girl, don't go in there. No, don't. Oh hell no! Like, dude, come on, man. Like, don't do that.
Please don't especially
like narrating the whole film. There's a YouTube channel for that.
Watch it at home.
Yeah, watch it at home. I mean, there's ways to do it, right? Yeah. But all right, guys, let's get right to Angela. What is knowing that this movie was a very spiritual film, it was very different. Christianity. This is, of course, made by Lionsgate here. And, I'll be honest here. I didn't know what to expect out of this film. I really wasn't going in with like high expectations or anything like that. I was more of like, becoming the background of it, right? So becoming the background of, I am religious. Yes, I am.
I am not so much.
Yeah, not so much. But I am religious. I was growing up in the church. I still play a musical instrument. I still play drums. So knowing that point of view right there, I got hooked on it on a certain way. But you got hooked on it and on a little bit, I guess, towards the I would say towards like the second act of the film, and it kind of makes sense a little bit here. I
really like that the movie's based on a true story.
Yeah, that was really good. So which I did not know.
I did not know that either. So I really like movies that are based on true stories.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, I'm not totally religious. Am I spiritual? Yes, I am. So this kind of piqued my interest. Plus, it was like set in the 70s, like during the hippie time. So I thought that was really cool to see that. I know we've seen more modern day Christian movies that are pretty good. So to see this actually set in the 70s was actually a really interesting concept to me. So I really liked the time, the era and the time period. Again, Kelsey Grammer from Frasier. I gotta say though, I was pleasantly surprised. So I didn't know what to expect going into this film. I kind of knew the general plot, but I was actually pleasantly surprised by the cast and how it unfolded and the story that was told. So I really did enjoy it.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. So I mean, exactly. So to give it into your point of view, right? I mean, I like that. That's really good. Knowing that he still had that connection here, and even so though, you kind of get lost, not in a good way. You really get lost in the moment. I kind of enjoyed that a little bit. There's this moment where Lonnie is just talking, and the way he speaks, he's a very good speaker. The way he spoke was really, really good, and it kind of felt like it was talking to me a little bit, and I was just I was liking that.
I think that's also like the bigger takeaway is when it comes to movements like this, it like you reaches out and speaks to you. It feels like you're being spoken to directly. That's why people can relate to it so much, and that's why people follow God, because it's something that they can relate to. And I really enjoyed, like you say, the speeches, the preaching that happened in this film, and how like it's touching so many people, like so many youth. And that's the thing. It was reaching out and connecting with youth that were hippies at the time.
And if you have not seen, guys, moviegoers out there, and this is not just, again, this is just what I recommend, right? I mean, because Christianity films, they really have been, we've seen a lot of cheesy ones. There's a lot of cheesy ones. They really are. I hate to say it, there is. But there's few that are really good. And I think you could agree with me on this. I Can Only Imagine, which stars with Dennis Quaid. Dennis Quaid does a fantastic job in that movie. I thought it was just, it didn't feel like a Christian movie. It is, but it really kind of doesn't fall under that in the first half of the film. And then it kind of leads towards it.
And for that one, I think that what I really liked was how, the main character is trying to start this band. Yeah. And he's at this show with a scout. Yeah. And he does something different. He leads almost like the audience in a worship. Like a worship song, and that was totally different at the time. Yeah, and I really liked that scene. I don't know. Again, you're connecting with your audience, and I feel like you felt this in Jesus Revolution. You felt these people who are preaching are connecting with their audience. So it was really cool to see that portrayed on film. I really enjoyed it.
I mean, Kelsey Grammer, he actually does a phenomenal job. I thought he did really good. I enjoyed his performance in here. I enjoyed the story that we got out of here. The character, the actors and actresses here were really good. Very well done. I mean, the first act of this movie is really good. I thought it was really solid. And then it's talking about the cons here. For me, I thought the movie kind of got lost in itself in the fight towards the end of the movie, because it was just like, where do you end? It's kind of, it was one of those things to where didn't know where to end, and I was kind of lost. I was all lost in it, not in a good way. I was just like, okay, wait, is this film, where are you going with this? Because it was almost to a sense to where, like Elvis, it was trying to be a documentary and trying to be a movie at the same time.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. It did feel a little bit like a biography. It was trying to be.
Well, that's good. It's a biography, but it kind of it was trying to be a documentary and a biography are two separate things, right? Yeah. They are. Like Johnny, we see Joaquin Phoenix in I Walk the Line. That's a biopic. That's a biography. That's a biography movie. Versus that's not a documentary whatsoever. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of feel like that movies have really trying to
tell true stories.
Well, just trying to reach that boundaries of both. Trying to be in the realm of both. And I kind of feel like it needs to be its own biography pick, and a lot of biopics do really well. They really do. They do. I mean, overall though, this is actually made and co-directed by the same executive producers who did I Can Only Imagine. So knowing we're getting that same feel, that same essence, that same story strongness here, I like that. I really do. I really enjoyed it for what it was. I didn't go in with any high expectations, nothing like that. I enjoyed this movie. Now, was this the fun that we deserved? I'm gonna say yeah. I mean, it was a story.
I would say yeah, because it tells a story. I didn't know this movement existed in the 70s. I really didn't. Yeah. And to see, I think they mentioned it, you see really this popularization of worshiping with song. You know, not just worshiping in church, but worshiping with the band. So I know they mentioned Love Song. That's what they when they started out. Famous, so I really liked seeing that. So I do think it is something we deserve, because it tells you some history that happened that we may not know. It happened 50 years ago. Mm-hmm. So I think that's really cool. It's kind of crazy that the 70s were 50 years ago, but it's really cool to see that unfold. So I do think it is a film we deserved.
We actually got actress in here, and I recognized her right away, but I knew she was very familiar, and my mom was the one that mentioned it. It was Kimberly, right? I'm the critic. My mom mentioned it. Kimberly Williams in here, Paisley, actually comes in here.
Brad Paisley's wife?
Yeah. And I actually know her from Father of the Bride, which I love that movie. I love that movie. And so, it's definitely, I was just she looks so familiar. I just couldn't put
put two and two together.
Exactly. I'm terrible with names. You guys know this by now. I'm terrible with names. I'm way better with faces. But hey, to each his own. But hey, overall, this movie, I had a good solid time here. I enjoyed an insight. I really did, because I did not know this happened. But yeah, rating 1 out of 10. Tell me the highest end. So I'm gonna give this rating.
So coming from somebody who doesn't have that Christian background, I didn't grow up in the church. Yeah. I grew up actually Catholic. That was what my family practiced. Yeah. And, I was never into the worship and everything. I met with you. So having that background of more spiritual, less religious, I really enjoyed it a lot more than I thought it would. I didn't, like I said, I didn't have expectations. I didn't know what really to expect. what kind of story was going to be told. So I would give it like a 7.5 because I think it really did its job as portraying this message. That's really good rating. It is, and I really enjoyed it. Like, to be honest, I love the scenes where they played the music and they're preaching. It really speaks to people. I really enjoyed that.
Speaking of that, there's actually one of the great scenes about this movie, though. I in my opinion, the greatest scene of the movie is when Lonnie is going to baptize Greg. That whole.
He's like hesitant,
of course, and they he asks Lonnie, tells Greg, he says, let's decide right now, let's pray about it, and I love that because that's he uses the sayings that when Matthew is a tax collector, he says, I'm a sinner, and he's a tax collectors back then were the most hated person in the world, knowing that because they're taxing their own people, but knowing that Jesus took that in, it's really phenomenal. It's really amazing, and that scene is powerful. I feel like it's powerful to its own right. And going back to what I was gonna say later on, the marketing. That's what the one thing that pissed me off. Not the movie, was the marketing. There was no marketing for this movie.
Yeah, I think I saw like one trailer.
And the one trailer we saw was like real, and it was I didn't see any ads on YouTube. I didn't see, the marketing was just crap, and I hate that because it really takes away of like reaching out the audience that maybe people don't even know that's coming out, because we didn't know what was coming out. Yeah. Maybe reaching an audience member, maybe reaching a founding member or someone that doesn't know Jesus or anything like, anything like that. I kind of felt like it really did not exceed on the expectations there.
Yeah, and considering that Christianity is one of the most popular religions in the U.S., I really feel that it has a market. People are gonna want to see this movie, and you're right. Like, I know we saw the one trailer, but it's not memorable enough to where we know like when it was coming out. Yeah. So I really think that it deserved a lot better marketing. Yeah. Even if it was like you say on YouTube ads or whatever. I agree with you. I was a little bit disappointed on that front.
Yeah, definitely. All right, guys. Sorry about that. It's our cat. Okay, so rating 1 out of 10. 10 being the highest. I'm gonna have to give this. Man, Angela, you gave it a set. What would you give it?
7.5.
Damn, 7. Okay, I'm gonna give it a solid 7. That scene on its own, I felt like it really was very, very strong. It really did left me with something. It was with a very strong momentum right there, and I love the feeling. I love the emotional aspect we got in that scene. Yeah. It was really good. I felt like it was very relatable to every human being out there who struggles with anything, and it really it was a really good, strong scene. I loved the guy who played Greg was Joel Courtney, and I thought he was really good too. He was a really good. I kept seeing he's actually from Super 8. But he looks very similar to Tom Holland. I don't know why.
No.
He looks a little similar features.
The whole movie, I was like, where is he from? And I know he's from Super 8, but like, where is he from? Yeah. He's from The Kissing Booth.
But he's a kid. For The Kissing Booth. There you go. Yeah.
So when I looked at it, I was like, that's it, right? Lee. So yeah.
He's Lee Finn in Kissing Booth.
Yeah. So I still enjoyed his performance. Yeah. He did phenomenal as well. So I think the cast did really great overall. Yeah. I think it was a pretty good film.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I felt like the movie kind of really. I would say towards the end of the movie, it kind of didn't. It just left me with just like, where do you like, kind of confusing. It kind of felt misdirected. It felt very well directed the first 2 acts of the movie, and then towards the end, it just felt like it didn't know where to end. It was just kind of an awkward situation, which I get it, because it's a story to where like you don't know where to end. You don't want to end on a low note. Yeah, so it doesn't know where to end here. But I mean, overall, I really enjoyed this movie, guys. If you have not already, check out this film, guys. Jesus Revolution. Check it out, because it's a lot better than what the trailer gives
and
out.
It may surprise you.
You never know. Yep, might surprise you. That's a good one. All right, guys, we do recommend this film. Obviously, we're giving it a little bit above average. We do recommend this movie, guys, to any moviegoers out there. And if you have not already, like, share, subscribe, hit that subscribe notification to get notified for our movie reviews trailer reactions, or anything else. We got Ted Lasso review coming out very soon. We can't say it. We saw a few episodes of the next season 3 season finale of Ted Lasso. It's coming out, guys. So next week we will actually premiere it. But we cannot say anything about it yet because, we're in strict embargo. But thank you so much, guys. And Dallas fans out there. By the way, Dallas, here we go, guys. Here we go. So we will be at Dallas Fan Expo in June. We're actually going to make a trip out there. Thank you guys for accepting us into thank you guys. And we're going to get this show pumped because this is the first Comic-Con that we've been to
in like 3 or 4 years.
It's probably been about 4 years. Yeah, this is the first Comic-Con we're going to. We're truly excited. We can't wait to see the moviegoers out there. We can't just wait to see how much pop culture has changed or what's going on, in the Comic-Con world.
Just to be around all fellow nerds like ourselves.
If you're not going to Dallas Fan Expo, what are you doing? Hayden Christensen's gonna be there. I mean, it's
Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, Rosario Dawson's gonna be
John
there.
Bernthal.
Yeah, it's a huge lineup that we are truly excited for, and we can't wait to see you guys out there. And if you do see us there, say hello, say hi, how's it going, guys? And thank you so much once again. And we'll be in Dallas, Texas, guys. We're actually in San Antonio, so it's about a little drive distance.
4.5 hours. Yeah,
we'll take our time. All right, guys, have a good one and stay safe, San Antonio. Catch you later. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. Ryan 680.
Angela, that cat, Lady Ange.
Catch you later, guys. Stay safe. Peace.